that I planted last May are blooming like crazy. After a lot of hard work in the spring, I can just sit back and enjoy the beauty. I learned some of this from my parents because they did a lot of gardening. And over the years, we moved quite a few times, but every time we moved, my dad would dig up perennials to plant at our new place. He would start a garden each place he went. And he'd always leave a legacy of gardens behind when we moved again, but then that made it feel like home wherever we were because of his love of gardening. While I enjoyed the looks of those gardens and the homegrown vegetables from the vegetable garden, I absolutely hated watering and weeding and all the maintenance that goes along with it. I swore that when I was an adult and had my own home, that was the last thing I'd spend my time on. Well, guess what? I've got flower beds, I've got a vegetable garden, and I've got containers of flowers all over my decks and my yard. When Ralph and I moved into our own home, it just didn't seem right not to have something planted. And so my passion for gardening began to grow. It's increased over the years and not diminished in any way. Because you see, it's in my garden and when I'm planting and watering and even, yes, weeding, that I feel so connected to God. It's there I can most easily talk to Him while I'm digging into the spring soil, or planting the annuals that I've bought, or picking my green beans and tomatoes in the late summer. It's in my garden that I can see so clearly the intricacy and wonder of God's creation, from the plants that grow from tiny seeds, or the perennials that push their heads up through the ground after the snow has gone, to the wonderful vegetables that nourish us. I also find that in my garden, I feel so connected to my parents because of their love of gardening and their time that they spent nurturing and planting things over the years, as well as my grandparents who farmed all their lives too. One of the great hymns is This Is My Father's World, and it speaks clearly of the joy of God's creation and the connection we can find with Him there, especially in verse 2. This is my Father's world, the birds their carols raise. The morning light, the lily white, declare their Maker's praise. This is my Father's world, He shines in all that's fair. In the rustling grass, I hear Him pass. He speaks to me everywhere. I pray that you can find whatever it is that connects you with God in meaningful and special ways, connections that help you to see the wonders of God's creation where you least expect it. If you choose to do gardening, happy gardening.